everybody, I'm Elizabeth from Team NDL, and before we'll jump on for the stupid new deck profile that I made for you, which is another 60 cards Synchrons, but anyway, before we'll jump into that, I just want to go over a few things that I think are important. First and foremost, the quarantine. Just to let you guys to understand in advance, if the quarantine will continue, and it will be a little problem with that, please understand in advance that some members of us either going to go to Project Ignis more, as well as maybe even just proxy cards, and do it in a particular style, maybe like Hardman, because quarantine kind of stops some particular things, so I hope you guys will understand that. Secondly, we had two kind of changes on the channel. The opening intros are still a little bit of a problem. We're still working on that because some of them are still the old ones for some of the videos, but we're trying to put the new ones. Regardless, I'm just going to say this. I specifically myself changed my own logo and everything, but I think the bigger change is for our new All Hail to the King, King Scarlet. We changed his name for the same card of the same trap that have kind of a similar name, or I think even the same name. I'm not pretty much sure, but I'm pretty surprised it didn't really find that card before. Regardless, that's his name now, King Crimson. So please understand that's his new name, that's what he's going to go with. Yeah, it's just his YouTubing name now. So please understand that one as well. And lastly, we have some particular things. If we're talking about that, we have my own particular Discord. So if you want to join Discord and just talk with me and maybe some other of the coalition members or other cool YouTubers, you're more than welcome to do that. I will leave, if there will forget, the guys will forget, I will leave myself in the comments. We'll try to put the link of the Discord. If not, I'll just ask them specifically to do that. We'll see about that. Regardless, let's jump right into the video, shall we? Alright guys, so that was for the mini news that I wanted to give you. For this particular deck, this is a really fun one. It's mostly for fun. It's 60 card Synchrons, like I said at the beginning. It's just for fun here. Let me know what do you think about this build in the description down below, or should I say in the comments down below, to kind of improve this. But do understand, this is for fun. This is not complete by any means. I'm just trying this deck around. Having a lot of blast with it, and the reason why I decided to run it at 60 is because it's making sure that I will see less of the bricks, but still see enough of the cards that I want to see, if that makes sense. And you'll see what I mean when it will go along, and just understand that Junk Speeder is not the main play of this deck, 100%, so you could play with something else. So starting things off, let's start off with the Junk package. You run 3 copies of Junk Synchron, 3 copies of Junk Converter. These two are just absolutely necessary at 3. Then you also run 1 copy of Junk Servant to run off the Junk Monsters, because this is a searchable by Jet Synchron, which sometimes you need, so this is just giving you another body. Speaking of Synchrons, these are just the Synchron related cards. 1 copy of Synchron Carrier, sometimes you need this additional normal summon. 3 copies of Odd Eyes Synchron. We do run a mini pendulum package in here, so it does work, and you could take cards from the scales. As in general, like, you could just take both of them. It's just really good to have Odd Eye Synchron. It's just a good card overall. And then 1 copy of Satellite Synchron to have something to just, like, you know, be a little bit more flexible in terms of levels, as well as just special summoning is really nice. Yeah. And then 3 copies of Jet Synchron, because Jet Synchron is amazing in this deck. It's either can discard for you cards or just search for you Junk Servant, which is one of the cards that you want to search, and it's not a bad normal summon to also have. And you need to have enough tuners for Junk Converter, so this is a really good one to maximize on. Also, we lost what is his name again? Destrudo and Glow Up Bulb, so we kind of have to run this one at 3, as well as just running 1 of this, because that's make levels double the levels, which is pretty nice, and it just replace Glow Up Bulb in some particular cases. So that's it for the Synchron related cards. Then we also have 3 copies of Duple Warrior. Duple Warrior, I don't think I need to explain this guy. You summon him, you use him, it just gives you tokens, which is really cool. Quillbold Hedgehog, this one is just additional 3 easy summons. I think it's pretty necessary to have. We do have the other equivalent, which I forgot his name for a second, but like it's still very, very necessary to have this guy, because it's just like, oh, sometimes I open up with the tuner. Cool. I just want to special summon this. Sometimes I don't open up with the tuner. You have the other equivalent for that. It's just really, really good to have this guy. It's help you to just go to all of your synchro plays. So Quillbolt is pretty nice. Then we run a mini Earthbound Immortal package, or at least related Earthbound Immortal. We're running 3 copies of Ascanator Dawnwalker and 1 Fire Ant, as well as 3 copies of Supai Duskwalker. This one is Dawnwalker by my mistake, and this one is Duskwalker, and 1 copy of Supai itself. The reason for this, guys, is pretty simple. Their bodies. Their bodies on board, they're just giving you an easy just special summon and then just discard a card, which is sometimes something that you need. You need sometimes this discard outlet to just special summon this, get this, and then you can make a play of a level 6 Synchro. Sometimes it's going to be Stardust Charge Warrior, sometimes it's going to be Stardust Assault Warrior, and then you're like, if you discard a Junk Monster or something like that, you can just get it back, which is really cool. Junk, like Assault Warrior, I'm not really sure about is going to make any extra deck, but you know what I mean. This one give you also flexibility with a level 8, and the fact that you're getting more tuners and stuff like that just really help the deck. I am not saying that these guys are perfect, but like I just really like them. Also, this card is with an amazing art. I really like playing that one. Then we have also the Symphonic Warrior engine, a mini engine to give you an additional normal summon as well as an additional summon on board for plays. Again, like all you need is just kind of particular starters, getting your plays. If you're getting Junk Speeder or stuff like that, and you start drawing, it's pretty much you can build your board, guaranteed that you will not get super interrupted. If you're going to get interrupted once or twice, it's okay, but more than that is a little bit of a problem. Then 3 copies of the so-called Shifty Dark Worm, because it decided to shift here. But anyway, 3 Dark Worm and one copy of Gate Zero. It's kind of helping you complete Pendulum package, as well as like giving you like, if you have Opetus in your hand and you want to, you can just put this complete scales and just Pendulum summon the monsters that you want, because you do have a lot of darks in the deck. If not, you just special summon this from the graveyard and getting a search for another, like, you know, special summon. It's pretty cool. And again, it can also help you with Odd-Eye Syncrhon, which is pretty nice as well. Then we have the last package, I promise, is the so-called Cybers package. Unfortunately, I don't have Signet Mining because, you know, quarantine and stuff like that, but this is a mini really useful package. Because Cyber's Gadget is essentially serve for you for the reverse, what is his name again? Junk Syncrhon. It's the reverse Junk Syncrhon of the deck, and also give you a token, which is really nice. This one really works well with the Walker package, with the Earthbound Immortal cards. It's just giving you the ability to make them like lower levels, and then just, like, let's say you target, for example, what her name is, like Supai, you make her a level 3, you special summon this, then you're able to summon a Speeder, which is pretty cool. And then you're getting a bunch of tokens. And then Dotscaper is just really good because it's Dotscaper. Anywhere you send him, you're getting a second summon. It's like Glow-Bulb, a little bit more easier to summon, but like you don't really get the so-called discard, like, you know, the Foolish Burial from the top of the deck effect, as well as like, it's not, how should I say this, it's not as easy to use, and it's not a tuner, so that's actually a big deal. So that's pretty much does it for the monsters, a very sizable count. Then we'll move on to the spells, 1 reinforcement of the army. I don't think I need to explain this one. 3 copies of tuning. This card is just excellent, give you the search for whatever you want. I would say again, I would run Silent Mining, but unfortunately I don't have Silent Mining, so yeah, unfortunately for that. Then 2 copies of Synchrhon Chase. This one is one of those cards that I actually consider bumping up to 3, because your opponent cannot activate cards in effective response of your activation of your Synchro monsters with Warrior, Stardust, and Junk in their name, which is pretty cool. And then if you Synchro summon a Warrior, Synchrhon, or Stardust, sorry, like Warrior, Synchrhon, and Stardust, not Junk. It's Warrior, Synchrhon, and Stardust. Anyway, if you summon one of those Synchro monster, you can target one of the monsters used for a Synchro material, and then special summon it. So this is really good as well. If you have like the so-called like quick, like, you know, the access Synchro during your opponent's turn. Let's say you summon Satellite Warrior with like two, one level 4 and one level 6, I guess. You can get one of these so-called materials back. Or, for example, one of the best things that I like to do is that I like to end the board with Formula and, I like to end up with Formula and Crystal Wing, which will get to the extra deck, then Synchro them, then get Crystal Wing back and get its negate again, which is pretty cool. So I love this card quite a bit. Not the strongest in the world, but not the weakest as I thought initially. Then one copy of Starlight Junction, just a nice draw. If you draw this, it's nice. If not, it's whatever. Give you the ability to attribute a tuner, special summon a Syncrhon monster from your deck with a different level than that monster, which is pretty nice. And then during your opponent's turn, if you special summon a Synchro monster from your extra deck, you can target one card on the field and shuffle it, which is pretty nice again. Again, it's just giving you a little bit of utility. So these ones are your utility Synchrone spells, which is pretty cool. Then we'll move on to the Foolish Burial related cards. 2 Dragon Shrine and 1 Foolish Burial. I don't think I need to explain those. Maybe 2 Dragon Shrines is way too much because we don't run a sizable dragon package, but I still pretty much like them. 3 Call by the Grave. This is a deck of 60. It's a deck that's like a little bit more on the fragile side, so I don't want to get hand traps. Even though I kind of realized more and more that like Call by the Grave kind of, I wouldn't say downgraded, but like became less and less important, but still pretty nice to have. Then 1 copy of Monster Reborn, 1 copy of 1-for-1 obvious staples, and then 2 copies of the most broken spell for this deck, I guess. I only run 2, I might be going to run 3 in the future, but 2 copies of Pot of Avarice. This card is just, if you see this, it's ridiculous. I don't want to run 3 because I don't want to see it too much. Even though I run 60, you see them a little bit less, but I still don't want to see this too much. I want to draw into it when I need to. So it's like, it's just giving you the additional more fuel and just give you the ability to just continue synchroing. And you can build like pretty nice boards with it. So if you see this card, it's kind of helping you just continue plays, which is pretty nice. Like I said, I might want to bump this up to 3. So that does it for the main deck. Now we'll move on to the extra deck. So let's start with the most obvious one. 1 copy of Formula Synchrhon, special summon, draw a card, Axel Synchro effect, which is pretty cool. Then 1 copy of Celestial Double Shaman. You can special summon up to 4 level 2s. And as you've seen in the main deck, you have what do you have? Oh, you have Satellite Synchrhon, you have Odd-Eye Synchrhon, you have Synchrhon Carrier, you have Junk Converter, and the list go on with also Hedgehog and Junk Doppel, or should I say, sorry, not Junk Doppel, but like say Doppel Warrior or whatever. Like it's just giving you so much level 2s. You have enough of the level 2, so like this one, like even if you summon 1 is pretty good, but you can summon like up to 3 or 4, I think, like pretty easily in this deck. So that's pretty nice. Metal Marcher, level 3 that give you back a tuner, which sometimes is pretty useful. Herald of the Arclight, a nice Omni Negate. Sure, you don't search rituals, but it's just a nice Omni Negate. It's pretty cool. You could run rituals if you really want to, but no. 1 copy of Crystal Quandax, I guess the name is, with the loss of some of Synchro monsters because they decided to put some on the ban list again, even though I don't see any reason for that because Synchrons are not that powerful, to be honest with all of you. Like, as much as like I want to say, oh, Synchrons are broken, they're not. But you do need this one at 1 because you do need sometimes the level 4 Synchro monster, essentially, with his tuner, which can also synchro during your opponent's turn. It rarely comes up, and I'm always like thinking I want to cut this one, but I still really like it here and there, so that's pretty nice. Axo Synchrhon, very flexible synchro tuner. Junk Speeder, pretty much the name of the deck, pretty much self-explanatory in this one. TG Hyper Librarian, it's at 1 again, back, I don't think for a reason, but it's still back at 1. Stardust Charge Warrior, draw a card, and just, pretty good. Stardust Assault Warrior. This one, this is pretty much, it's just nice to have. I don't, like this and this are probably the weakest links in the extra deck, I guess, because they're not that great all the time, but this one is just sometimes nice to have, and I'm kind of like thinking of maybe running also Junk Forward in the deck just to get like a free special summon, which could be nice, and kind of like rising the count of Junks to 10, so like oh, if I summon this, I can just get the Junk Gardena or the Junk Syncrhon back, which is pretty cool. But it's just nice for a utility one. Sometimes you do need that secondary level 6, which this one, like running through of this is not that smart. I don't really have any other level 6 that I can think that I want, because this one is just utility-wise, it's the best one that I could find for my collection. And now we'll move on to the 5 so-called interruptions, I guess. 1 copy of FA Dawn Dragster, 1 copy of Omega, 1 copy of Crystal Wing, 1 copy of Trishula, and 1 copy of, Satellite Warrior. I will kind of put them like this so you guys can see them. FA Dawn Dragster, I don't think I need to explain. I don't think I need to explain any of these. But this one is absolutely ridiculous. I would say that when he dies, he can revive up to 3 Stardust Junk or Stardust Syncrhon or Warrior ones. So you can revive this. You can also revive. No, Speeder is not one of them, but you could revive this. You can also revive this. So you can revive up of your 4 monsters. You can revive them back, which is pretty cool. I just wanted to show you guys that again. But yeah, you can revive those guys because it's really cool when he dies and he does that. You can also run like something like Stardust Warrior if you want to. I think this one is a little bit more powerful because it just pops so many things on board, because the number of synchros that you're going to have is just absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, I think this one is pretty nice. There's also the Crystal level 9 that require multiple tuners, but I unfortunately don't have it, so that's the reason why I don't run this one. And that pretty much does it for the deck profile. Like I said, it's a 60 card deck for fun. It's not supposed to be like competitive or anything. I just want to have a little bit fun and goof around with Syncrhon, because it's my favorite mechanic, even though it's not going to be that strong. But like I said, I just want to goof around. I want to have fun with something, and I hope you guys enjoyed regardless. So see you guys next time. The Coalition of Scrubs is an awesome place, so do consider sticking around, and I'll catch you all later. Bye-bye.